Stock of the day, Washington H Soul Pats reporting today. Share price in focus with its FY24 half-year result, reporting net asset value increasing 10% to $11.5 billion. Net cash flow from investments growing $263.4 million. Meanwhile, it's lifted its dividend 11%, although statutory profits fell as weaker coal prices and property valuations hit some of its larger investments. In fact, I caught up with Soul Pat's Chief Executive Todd Barlow a little earlier on the company's three key performance indicators and objectives that's driving their profits.
Investment portfolio, when you think about your own individual portfolio, you don't aggregate the profit and loss of the portfolio that you have. You only care about two things. What's the dividend yield that I'm getting out of that portfolio, and how is the investment portfolio growing? And also, how am I managing risk? So they are really our three key objectives and three key performance indicators of our portfolio. And I'm glad to say that through the half, we performed very well against each of those KPIs.
All right, and there we can see, broadly positive, obviously, given it's headed in the right direction for Soul Patts off the back of that result. Howard, look, I know you couldn't actually hear what Todd had to say there, but he's saying, look, they don't consider the profit to be the accurate reflection of investment performance. The key is capital value of its portfolio.
Yeah, it's one of these companies that because it owns shares in other listed companies, you really need to look at look-through earnings, as Warren Buffett calls them. And they have the same problem that Berkshire has, that their reported profit bounces around when the actual operating profits and actual revenues are not bouncing around very much at all, generally steadily going up. So this is a terrifically well-run company, exceptionally conservative balance sheet, negligible debt on the balance sheet, great investments. The only thing that I was a little bit surprised is they always talk about being long-term investors, but in the past 6 months they made more investment buys and sells, something like $2.9 billion worth of buying and selling, which is the highest it's been for years, which for long-term holders was a little bit surprising. But I don't think it pays to second guess that management and board. Fantastic chairman, terrific board, great management, and they, never going to shoot the lights out, but they're the kind of investment that if you hold in your portfolio, you can be very happy with.
Which means you would do what with the stock?
Well, at the moment, it's probably a little bit on the, no, in fact, its PE is not even all that high. Probably it would fall within where TeamInvest members at the moment would be quite comfortable buying it.
Okay, a buy then to begin with for our stock of the day. Michael, do you agree?
Yeah, look, these sort of asset managers or fund managers, not normally the type of business that we would buy. We like to do our own stock picking. A lot of the listed fund managers out there actually perform quite poorly. They were trying to take over Perpetual, which is has been a long-term underperforming business. So, I don't follow Soul Patts very closely, but maybe that's a good thing, not trying to turn that business around. At the end of the day, if you were in the business of buying one of these type of companies, I think Soul Patts is in the top sort of 2 or 3, on the market. As we saw in their presentation today, an investment in Soul Patts over the past 15 years has outperformed the accumulation index. So, that's really all you can ask for. Great set of numbers. So, it's a buy if you're into, buying these asset managers or fund managers. I think, Soul Patts is one of the few that you'd buy. What
do you make of its portfolio? It's really diverse, isn't it? In fact, Todd was talking about focus on perhaps the private listed part of the market, but obviously they got exposure in energy, coal, for instance. Obviously, brickworks as well. How do you regard that diversity?
That's fine. I mean, because they are invested in some of these listed entities, I'm happy to just go and buy some of those entities directly myself. So, but I think, obviously the mix is correct because they're doing really well. I agree with those type of investments. And again, if you're the type of investor that, you don't have the time to be buying any of these directly, then I think Soul Patts is a good investment, and it's a good way to get exposure to those markets.
Well, to the point where it is a double buy from our experts for Soul Patts.